It was one of the most anticipated rulings in recent history. The South African accusers and the Israeli defence team waiting in suspense. In the UN's highest court, judges filed in to rule on the most heinous of charges, genocide. Israel, they say, does have a case to answer over its actions in Gaza.
In the court's view, the aforementioned facts and circumstances are sufficient to conclude that at least some of the rights claimed by South Africa and for which it is seeking protection are plausible.
There was no order for an immediate ceasefire as Israel had feared, but grave concern expressed for the humanitarian situation in Gaza and particular criticism for the statements of Israeli officials.
The court has taken note of a number of statements made by senior Israeli officials. Minister Gallant stated, speaking to Israeli troops on the Gaza border, I quote, "I have released all restraints. You saw what we are fighting against. We are fighting human animals."
Israel had urged the International Court of Justice to throw out this case. Instead, it will be fighting it for years to come. In this ruling, the judges don't take a position as to whether genocide is being committed by Israel in Gaza, but they are worried enough about the possibility to order Israel to do everything in its power to avoid doing so and to prevent and to punish genocidal incitement by senior Israeli officials. That in itself is a major blow to Israel, as is the fact that for years to come now, it is going to be investigated and tried for alleged genocide in the highest courts in the United Nations. The Israelis insist their campaign in Gaza is justified after the atrocities of October the 7th, the worst single loss of Jewish life since the genocide of the Holocaust. On the eve of International Holocaust Day, their Prime Minister reacted with anger to the ruling.
Like every country, Israel has an inherent right to defend itself. The vile attempt to deny Israel this fundamental right is blatant discrimination against the Jewish state, and it was justly rejected. The charge of genocide leveled against Israel is not only false, it's outrageous.
Israel says South Africa's brought this action for political reasons because of close ties with the Palestinians. So what did South Africa's foreign minister make of the actions of Hamas, who the judges say must immediately release all hostages?
But has Hamas behaved genocidally, would you say, even outside of this court?
I believe that what has been done by Hamas is certainly caused great harm. And I do think that the hostages should be freed, and that's what we must focus on.
Most immediately, the ruling focuses world attention sharply on the humanitarian disaster in Gaza, demanding Israel act urgently to ease an unfolding catastrophe. But it puts pressure on all UN members to act too. Palestinian officials at the court say that Britain must now step back from supporting Israel.
Britain should stop sending weapons to Israel, should stop trying to cover up for the crimes that Israel is committing at the international level.
Now you can hide. We charge you with genocide. We charge you with genocide.
The ruling doesn't bind Israel to any sweeping changes in the way it wages its war in Gaza. But its critics have prevailed now in efforts to hold it to a higher level of scrutiny. Dominic Waghorn, Sky News, The Hague.